the famed Texas Hill Country. Rolling hills, deep draws, oak trees, and lots of whitetails. This week we're going to be hunting with Dale Storch of S D Whitetails outside of Llano. It's all about friends and family. We got Freddie, my stepdad, Lamar, Brian, and Russell. We're going to have lots of fun, some good times, and we're going to hunt some big old bucks. Russell, big deer, right here, get on him.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents
This week on Precision Hunting TV, we're going to be in the hill country of Central Texas, hunting with Dale Storch of S D Whitetails. I got my stepdad Freddie with me, Lamar, Brian, and Russell. We're going to have lots of fun, and we're going to get after some big old whitetails.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Swarovski Optique, Hornady Ammunition, and Borden Accuracy.
I've been looking forward to this hunt all year. You know, Freddie Zerbel, my stepdad, he's the person that's responsible for getting me into hunting years and years ago. And we don't get to spend a lot of time together hunting each year, maybe one hunt a year. And we've been planning this one for a while. I was gonna have him, Lamar, and of course Brian and Russell, our cameramans that are big pals of us. We're all gonna be in camp with Dale Storch, and we were really excited and looking forward to this hunt. So Freddie, Russell, and I, we made the long drive from Alabama. We finally met up with Lamar and Brian, and we were excited to meet up with Dale Storch and get after this hunt we've been looking forward to all year.
Hello, Dale Storch. How you doing, friend?
Welcome to the Heart of the Heart Ranch.
Oh, man, it looks like a beautiful place.
Freddie, glad to meet you. We know you.
Lamar Smith.
Colby.
Nice to meet you.
Caden Baker.
Caden?
Caden's the owner of the ranch, 6 generations on the ranch.
Well,
beautiful place here.
Man, I'm looking forward to hearing some stories in the history.
Well, there's some big horns in there, and there's a lot of history, and I like history.
All right, well, show us where we're going.
Go. Hey y'all, I'm Dale Storch. I own S D Whitetails here in the Texas Hill Country. This week we're out here on the Heart of the Heart Ranch, one of my favorite ranches. We have deer from 140 to well above in the mid 270s. I've been a guide and outfitter in Texas for about 30 years now, and we've guided over 2,000 hunts, I'm sure, easily. So here at S D Whitetails, we are family owned. Me and my wife, Rebecca Storch, own this. We've been 30 years in the business. We guide basically about 10,000 acres. The Baker Ranch here is one of the famous ranches, I think 6 generations. We got Frosty Miller's Ranch, which is 3 and 4 generations. So you're gonna have a good time. It's a beautiful place to hunt. We enjoy it, and just look forward to meet new people. Here in the Texas Hill Country, we have been on the rut for about the last month. It's worked out really well on rattling the horns, hitting the brush and getting out there and do this guide stuff, but we're gonna see if we can make that work this week.
So we had plenty of time that first afternoon to go out and get our rifles sighted in. I was going to be hunting with my brand new McWhorter 6.5 PRC. Freddie, he had my 6.5 Creedmoor, and of course Lamar, he's going to be out there with his McWhorter 260 Remington.
This week we're in Central Texas. We're with Dale Storch and S D Whitetails. We're at the Heart of the Heart Ranch. It's a great looking ranch, and the first things first, we're going to sight some rifles in down here at the range. We have our McWhorters with us. I've got my 260 Remington. Love this gun. It's topped with a Swarovski Z5, 3.5 to 18. Seth, what are you shooting?
I've got my brand new McWhorter 6.5 PRC. This thing is made with their new Peak stock. It's got a spiral fluted Brux 24-inch barrel, topped with a Swarovski X5i 5 to 25 by 56. Both of these guns we load developed with 143 grain Hornady ELDXs, and they are tack drivers. So let's see if we can make a few touch. How about
Let's
it?
see if we can do that.
All right.
All right.
That'll work. How about it? I think that'll kill a deer.
Definitely kill it there. That's for sure.
Awesome.
This segment is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
With our guns all sighted in, we had plenty of time to get in the blind for the first afternoon sit. Now, our guide Dale told us, he said, this could be a tough hunt. It's late in the year. We got some tail end of the rut activity going, and we've got acorns everywhere. So they're not having to come to any kind of feeders. So it could be a challenging hunt. This is a hunt, and we were prepared for that. So our first afternoon, we had us sitting up on this hilltop where we could look down into a bottom and then all the way across this hillside onto the other side. We're sitting there just kind of enjoying the afternoon, and I just glance over and I can see it's probably 300 or 400 yards on the other side of the hill, and it's just brushy. There's oak trees everywhere, and I see some deer running, and I look up on the binoculars and I see a really good buck chasing a doe. And then all of a sudden it's just pandemonium in the blind, trying to get everything turned around and out the window and looked out. And at this point, by the time we get the camera set up, these deer have chased out of view, back into view, out of view. I don't know if the camera even got any footage of it, but essentially that's what happened the very first afternoon. We didn't have any deer directly in front of us. Nothing came to the feeder, and it was exactly what Dale said. All these deer are still chasing. They're in the draws. They're eating all the acorns, and that's what happened. We saw all these deer all the way across the hillside. Never did get a really good look at that buck, but I know he was probably at least 150 class deer. So it was promising. We saw some activity that first afternoon, and we knew it might be a challenging hunt, but we were up for the task. So that morning, Freddie was out. He was at a different blind. He didn't have a cameraman with him, and he and his guide saw, they got a glimpse of a really good looking wide 10-point, and it really piqued Freddie's interest. And I said to Russell, I said, I think I'd rather go and sit with Freddie this afternoon. So we worked it out where Russell and I were gonna go with Freddie and try to watch him shoot this big old buck. So when I told him, I said, hey, do you mind if I go with you? The big old smile and excitement on his face, it said everything. We're sitting there in this blind, and you know, we have a couple of deer come up to the feeder, but over and to the pasture, we can see deer chasing does back and forth. So it's getting closer to dark, and I see another bigger bodied deer come across, and I could see some wide antlers on him. I get the Swarovski binos up and I look, and I said, Freddie, look at that deer. And he goes, that's him, that's him. Now the problem was this deer is making his way from the left to right. He is going away from us, but he's also going out into this wide open pasture area. And I said to Freddie, I said, you know, I think we can get down and make a move on this deer. and crest that hill. If we can get to those trees right there, you might have a couple 100-yard shot at this buck. So we all got out of the blind and we got single file, walked one behind each other and walked straight to that tree that we had in our mind. We got there, we looked up, and we could see all these deer out just on the other side of the fence, and we laid eyes on Freddie's buck. Hey, that was like the old days, right? Having to get after one, that was fun. The deer runs to the left and he goes behind this bank of a pond. You know, the light's fading fast. We knew he hit the deer. We don't know exactly what direction he went. There were deer running everywhere, so we don't know if he went left, he went directly behind that pond dam. But we knew it was a hit, so we just had to get up there and find some blood. And so this deer was hit low in the chest. We were able to trail him for a bit, but he also jumped up and took off running. So we decided to go back to the lodge and we're gonna give him a lot more time. We decided we're gonna get a dog man out there at first light. We'll go out and we're gonna try to find Freddie's buck. So all's well that ends well. You know, that next morning I'm off hunting somewhere else. I get a report that Freddie and the dog man have found his deer. We get out of the blind and we go over and help him recover it. We're all excited and Freddie is nothing but smiles. Guys, we're here at the Heart of the Heart Ranch, S D Whitetails with Dale Storch. We've had a great time. I know you've had a good time.
Always. They've been so nice.
Well, now it's my turn and Lamar's turn, so.
Well, good luck. Hope you can catch up with me.
Maybe so, we'll see.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Surge Pro by Biofac Crop Care, Armageddon Gear, Gun Foam, Metal Spinning Targets, and Mesquite Creek Taxidermy.
So the hunt's starting to wear on. We've probably been 4 or 5 sits now, and a lot of deer activity, just nothing mature. And we decided to go back to the Razorback blind. We had a good sit there one morning. We thought, you know, let's give that one more shot. It's in an area where we've been seeing some deer, and we decided to give that one more shot. As the sun starts to rise, we have some deer activity. We have some young bucks. And out walks a pretty looking, wide, younger 8-point, just a great looking up and comer deer. He just wasn't what we were looking for. He had a lot more time to grow, but I knew he had some potential down the road.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about the use of ballistic rangefinders and calculators in long-range shooting. And what we define in our class as long range is anything 500-600 and beyond. You really got to start paying attention. There's a lot of factors. Your direction of fire, the wind values, internal, external ballistics, the whole 9 yards. There's a lot of things to consider that you can't get away with without a ballistic calculator of some kind.
Right, and there's a lot of stuff out there, like even for your phone. You know, there's several applications out there that work, but they all require having a rangefinder in order to facilitate it to work fully.
So why not have one?
Right, all in one system. And you know, like the SIG, they really are the first ones to get, you know, knock it out of the park as far as all the features and how quick you can get, you know, everything adjusted for your shots. Everything. And the only thing that you have to do manually is enter in the wind speed and the direction that it's coming from, because it is accounting for spindrift, Coriolis, Eötvös, aerodynamic jump, inclination, declination, and
direction of fire.
Direction of fire.
Different shooting directly east than shooting west.
Yes, and the thing is like, and it is a rapid feedback on these systems as well. Like it doesn't take 15 seconds for it to give you. It's instant. So the quality of these products is really good. I would say that if I was to recommend any one piece of equipment that you have to have in order to shoot long range, that is probably the most critical outside of having an accurate rifle.
Absolutely. And both the rangefinder and the binocular, they hold 30 profiles a piece?
It's 30. They updated it to 30 rifles now. You can have 30 profiles in that system.
So they hold multiple ballistic profiles.
Yep, and it's very intuitive. The user interface for it, they have that down pat. So like I'm able to use them, so therefore anybody can use them.
It's even got 5 brackets at the bottom of the app where you can put in temp stability and predicted velocities. So if your rangefinder, after it gets acclimated, it's going to assume that velocity. It's going to use that speed that you programmed in there. So I mean, they're just spot on, and all the way down to the last detail.
The great thing is that we do cover this in depth in the course.
That's right.
So like you're able to get and learn the importance of each data field and how it plays into that accuracy and everything for you downrange.
And that's your True Precision tip, brought to you by Alan and Keith and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Tacticam, Leo Photo USA, Sig Sauer, Trigger Tech, Brux Barrels, and Hawkins Precision. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
So on this particular hunt, I decided I'm going to take my rattling horns with me and maybe tickle the horns, do some rattling sequences ever so often in the morning and see if we can't get some deer to come in and investigate. So later in the morning, we have this incredible front come rolling in, and we're at the top of this Razorback, and the terrain sits where this fog is just probably 10 feet off the ground. It's really cool because you could see this front roll in. We got this great time-lapse footage of it, and I decided, let's do some rattling in this. It might mask some movement with this fog and us being up a little higher. So we decided to hang those deer horns out the window and do a little rattling. We're just sitting there hanging out, and just like a ghost, out of nowhere, pops out in the Sendero, and he's looking right at the blind, right where I was rattling. Russell, big deer, right here, right here, right here, get on him, get on him. Wow, that happened fast. Good deer to shoot. All right. Look at this buck here. What a pretty Central Texas buck right here. We hit the horns one more time and we looked up and he was standing in the Sendero. Guys, we're up here with S D Whitetails in Central Texas at the Heart of the Heart Ranch. Mr. Dale Storch, good friend of the show. He and Lamar have been buddies for a while, and he's become one of my friends as well.
Well, I'm blessed to have you.
We've had a great hunt. Thank you again, my friend.
Well, I'm proud of you, Seth. You're a true hunter.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you. So we're down to the last day, and last day Lamar, he's up to bat. They're gonna try a different blind this afternoon. It's a bit of a ways on the other side of the ranch. It's overlooking this wheat field, this planted wheat field area. A lot of green, and these deer are all hitting it in the afternoon. It's a really unique spot. In fact, there's this old abandoned ranch house that's out there. It almost looks like you're hunting in someone's backyard. Granted, you're not. There was a lot of deer out there. We had a pretty young looking, probably 160 class deer. That deer was not a shooter. Lamar was looking for a nice, older, mature management buck, and it wasn't long, and out walked a bigger bodied, heavy horn, 8-point. Lamar says that's our buck.
$260 yards. Dropped him in his tracks. Last day Lamar. We did get it. There you go. Big old G1s. Big old head on him. We've had a pretty tough week. We've been trying to get on this couple of deer that they had, and they just quit showing up. There's so many acorns. It's a full moon, the weather's warm. Norther came in, and I tell you what, it made the difference. They came out. They really liked this winter wheat, and they started filtering out as it got closer to 5 and dark. S&D whitetail, guys. They'll work to get you your deer.
You know, this is what hunting is all about to me. Friends, family, fellowship, good times. We had an incredible hunt here with Dale Storch of S&D Whitetails in the beautiful hill country of Texas. We had great hunts. We got deer, beautiful deer to take home with us, and the food was fantastic. This is what hunting is all about, the tradition of hunting with your friends and family. This is everything you want and more, and I absolutely love to be a part of it.